The review includes an examination of all the evidence and of the charges. The defendant is allowed to submit information for consideration by the capital case section as well, which is one of the reasons that we attach these special findings. Once this review is completed, it is then that the Attorney General will determine whether or not to authorize my office to seek death. So the simple question, or the simple answer to your important question is, we are starting the process. We've made no decision yet. Yes, sir.
Judge Pirro, go ahead, sir.
There's been reporting, in addition, after an attack earlier this week on a Trump administration DOJ official, that the Trump administration was making plans to increase federal law enforcement throughout the city. Can you confirm if that's accurate and what your office is aware of?
You know, my understanding is that both the Trump administration as well as the Metropolitan Police Department are looking to increase law enforcement efforts because of the violence we're seeing across this country, across this city. I'm not sure specifically what you're referring to, but we just have too much crime.
I just want to ask you.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
There's a new FBI report that says that anti-Semitic crimes have gone up 70%. This is the highest number against any religious group. Given your announcement today, do you envision any enhanced prosecution efforts, deterrence efforts? Give us some context about that.
Look, I think your question is an important one, and it makes it clear that we have a problem with anti-Semitism in this country, and the statistics bear that out. And I think now more than ever, we are seeing increased numbers. So what does that mean? What it means, if you can get from, my tone, we're going to be very aggressive. You heard from the FBI, the MPD. We're going to look for these cases. We're going to prosecute these cases to the full force of the law. It's a problem, and we're not going to tolerate it. Anti-Semitism has historically been one of the biggest scabs in the world that keeps getting picked on and picked at. So from my perspective, I will go forward with every case with vengeance.
Judge Pierre, do you support a federal takeover of Washington, D.C., as the president has suggested?
Yeah, that is a decision for the president. And I think that what the president was saying is that we're seeing far too much crime being committed by young people, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, that I can't get my hands on. I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures, but, young people are coddled, and they don't need to be coddled anymore. They need to be held accountable. They shouldn't be going to arts and crafts in family court. They need to understand that enough is enough, and that the D.C. Council has to repeal some of these absurd ordinances and laws that they've had passed that do nothing to protect the people of this city and of this district. And I will reference a case that I wrote an op-ed piece on that I've been talking about for weeks. A young person gets on a bus with an illegal gun. There is a family on the bus. He makes a decision to shoot someone in the chest. To me, that's intent to kill. But for the grace of God, that individual did not die. Now, he's got a gun. It's illegal. He used the gun. Guess what the sentence was? I got a conviction. The sentence was probation. We can't have that. And by the way, he wasn't a kid. He was 19. These are the rules of the D.C. Council. They've got to be changed. We've got to have the ability to let young people know that they're going to be accountable. And if you look at some of these pictures of these kids being beaten by crews and bloodied up, and you want to tell me that, it's only a kid who did it, no. Take a look at the bloodied up face and body, and you'll know that it's more than little kids doing this kind of thing.
Are you trying to get your office to take over what Brian Schwab is doing? Do you want to take over juvenile justice here in the city?
I'm not trying to do anything vis-a-vis Brian Schwab. All I want to do is clean up D.C. That's why the president put me here. And youth crime is on the rise. In the last 4 years, we've had 150,000 cases of youth violence. Okay, 4 years ago. Now it's close to 500,000 cases of youth violence. We've got D.C. as one of the highest murder rates in the country. So we can talk about crime going down, But going down from where? So, I mean, this is something that is a whole other issue. Today is about this indictment and making sure that if you intend to commit a crime of anti-Semitism or hate, we're coming for you.
You spoke to Yaron and Sarah's parents. Have they taken a position on whether they want the Justice Department to seek the death penalty? And separately, Steve Jensen was supposed to be up there alongside you announcing this today, but he's been fired. Do you have any explanation why?
Okay, I'm going to talk about Sarah and Yaron's parents. I spoke to them, and I told them that the process is beginning, that they will have an opportunity and a right to put their input into what decision is ultimately made. Okay, and I'm not going to talk about politics today. I'm talking about crime. I'm talking about hate crimes, and that's the extent of it. Okay.
Reporter was asking the question. There's word that there are going to be more federal law enforcement, including perhaps National Guard, on the streets of D.C. today and tomorrow as a result of some of this recent violence. What is your reaction, or could Assistant Chief Kyle speak to that?
I know that there is an effort to increase law enforcement based upon what we've seen. But I also know that today is about the Lashimskis and Sarah and two other victims whose lives are forever changed because of one individual's decision to come to this city and create a ripple effect that has rippled throughout the world. And that's enough on the other stuff. Okay?
Could we ask Assistant Chief Kyle for his reaction to that? More federal law enforcement. Could you come to the microphone?
No, I'd rather we talk about Lashimski. You could call him later. I'm done.
A follow-up on the cases. You mentioned specifically Rodriguez's actions towards Sarah being the reason why you would. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? I know you mentioned it during your.
No, I can't. That will come out at trial. But I refer you to that part of the special findings. It's horrific. Thank you all very much. Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Let's go.